Hey everybody, it's Raven with another how-to video. This time it is how to spot an internet scammer. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I have a little bit of personal experience with this very recently. I just got I've been looking around for different jobs, for different full-time employment as opposed to doing Grubhub, some of these other things whenever I want to. Get a little bit more stable pay. Well, I got an email the other day, and I'm going to have to show you these screenshots as I've got these because they're actually kind of funny. This is probably one of the best internet scams I have seen in a while because of how well they did it. Everything looks pretty legitimate from the email all the way down. And there it is. They actually used a real person's name, and the actual email that has where you're supposed to go doesn't really have grammatical errors or spelling or punctuation errors that I can see. That's usually the first indication that you've got a scam. This one doesn't have that, and it actually talks about a specific company, but then it starts to go a little bit weird. They talk about the pay, they talk about the benefits. Most of these, they don't ever talk about pay or benefits. They just talk about, we want, you to be the middleman here in the United States. And, you're just moving cash left and right, which, by the way, is money laundering. But, we're not gonna think about that right now. So they have me talk to someone that is supposed to be the senior vice president of Eli Lilly and Company. Eli Lilly is a very big company. It's a very real company. And they're saying that this person is vice president and the president of their biomedicines. Okay, so sounds like a pretty high up person for doing this for a customer service manager position, which is what this is. So I'm like, okay, let's see what this is, because this is the HR coordinator contacting me to talk to this person. Okay, so that sounds legit. Then they have me do the entire interview online, and they had me do it through Google Hangouts. And I've never done really any interviews through the internet that were all text. That right there gave me a red flag. Usually people want to hear your voice. People want to see what you look like because they want a name and a face. I mean, most people with their interactions, that's how they tell you apart from everybody. I mean, if you look at somebody and they don't look like they're the right type of person, how can you trust them with the job? So that automatically had me a little bit leery. Then, and I'm going to show you the screens on this because I archived this whole thing. This actually gets kind of fun. I asked for the specific person I'm supposed to speak with, which the actual Google Hangouts that they gave me isn't a specific person's name. But it's amazing that she picked up. So that person, and I'm saying she because of the name of the person, they're talking about Christy Shaw, of course. And she replied very quickly, I might add, within like a couple minutes, and I hadn't replied all day. I had other things to do. I had other videos to shoot, stuff like that. So I'm busy. The fact that she's waiting around and replied, that either she was just, happened to be at her desk and saw it, or somebody's waiting around for me to respond at any time. We go through it, and they start asking if there's a verification code. Now, a verification code does give it a little bit higher level of authenticity. And I'm not going to give you it because I'm sure that's just a fake thing that they put on the bottom, so it's probably meaningless. But having that takes you back to, okay, maybe this is legit. Then we go through it, and they have an entire thing. I mean, they have this person's entire biography of who she is, what she has, what she has done, what different boards and what different journals and stuff she's been in, quite a few different things. I gave them a little bit of a blurb on myself because they didn't really ask much. And again, they weren't asking for the specific things that would give you a red flag, like what's your social, what's your bank account number, stuff like this. Then they give the background of Eli Lilly and Company. And they actually give you a link. And if you're not careful, it actually looks like the genuine hyperlink. If you click it on a cell phone now, instead of your regular laptop, it shows redirect for about a split second. So that means it's coming from someone else's site and it's just going to the legitimate one around it. Very good trick. They give the whole history of the company, who it was founded by, what they're in. They even told me that the job was a strictly at-home job. They give me the duties that are responsible for this, and it actually all looked legitimate. Then they asked for, name, cell phone, stuff like that, which I gave them some of that information. I'm not worried about the information that they can get off of it because they didn't get anything else. So, shock, I was approved. Hey, congratulations on the greatest hire they've ever gotten. And now they start talking about that I need to get equipment and software for this. This is where their game unravels rapidly. They say they're going to mail me a check. And by the way, they actually did not snail mail me this check. They emailed me this check, and you should see that right about here on the screen. This check, if you look at the address for it, shows an apartment building in Massachusetts somewhere. They asked, how would I like my name to appear on the check? I gave them it, and you'll see it on there. What I actually said was what they put down. They asked if I know how to do a mobile deposit. I've done those plenty of times. I've done it for 2 different banks online on my phone. They're very easy to do. It doesn't take much, and if you have the right pictures of the check, the front and back, you can do it very fast. So it's a very safe way to do it. But I also know how the system works. I do know that it takes a few days before the stuff would be deposited. And they're saying that the funds would get there immediately. I don't know any bank that will okay funds in the amount that they sent me, and you'll see on the check it's $2,800 that fast. No one has that. They usually put maybe 100 or something in there. It depends on your bank's rules. Check on those. But most of them do not allow a deposit that fast unless it's cash that they actually counted. The reason, they're trying to verify if that check is real and if it has proper amount in the funds in the account that it's coming from. So that goes without saying. So they forward the details to the payroll officer. Okay, that's a legitimate step. Then they asked for my email address. Here's the problem. They already had my email address earlier. Why are you asking for it again? You're the vice president and you want me to, and you were asking me if I know how to use Excel. I'm sure you know how to use it. If you got to that high of a level, I'm sure you know how to collect an email address that you got yesterday from the exact same place. You don't have it? Okay. I'm down with this game. So I send a different email, one that I use specifically for stuff that I know is spam, stuff like that. They send me the check, which again, I've showed you earlier. So they send it and they ask, okay, how many minutes would it take to complete your deposit? And then I have already completed the deposit. Now I start playing with them. At this point, I know the game's up, but I'm gonna play with them for a little while because it's kind of like fishing. Once you got them on the hook, it's all about the fight now, and let's see how much fight they've got before I reel them all the way in. They asked me to give them the deposit confirmation. I don't know. The last time I did mine, I did a mobile deposit. I don't remember if it said one. But at this point, I'm just playing with them anyway, so they asked if they could have the deposit confirmation. I didn't have one. And in fact, I just told them I don't have details or anything. It just said it's going to take like 3 to 5 business days. They're like, all right. They go, my bank still has to verify it. Oh no, that's what I told them. My bank has to verify it. And I said, as for a screenshot, the window closed, so I do not see that screen anymore. Again, just toying with them, playing with them a little bit longer. It says pending. They want me to open the window and send the deposit confirmation. Then I went and they're like, send me a picture of the app because they want to know which app I was using. So I just went online and typed in which bank I use and found just a generic picture, and I'll put it up here because it's an internet picture that I can find, and just posted that there. Okay, it shows money in the account and everything else, and I'm just playing with them at this point. I'm just having fun. So then they're asking me to go and get the working materials that I need, but they're asking if I can pay for it out of my own money. Sure, I could go do that. Where would I need to purchase them? And they said that they would have a specific vendor that they would go to. Wow, very good vendor. It's very specific to them. You know, not many people have heard of Wal-Mart here in the United States, right? Yeah, okay, I'll buy it, sure. And they're asking me, should I contact the vendor on my behalf? I'm like, sure, go ahead. Then they asked me that they need to get something called an automated time tracker. A piece of software that I'm supposed to put like on my phone or something like that. And it's supposed to be able to tell, you know, how they can calculate my hours that I worked so I can get paid for them. And I'm like, is it on the App Store? You know, most legitimate things will be on the App Store. If not, they can send you the direct link. You don't have to pay for anything like this. If it's a big enough company, they're already going to have it. So why am I paying for another one? You know, why am I paying for something like this? And by the way, if they ask you to pay for anything like this, that's almost a red letter sign right there saying, no, don't do this. Automatically, now it's starting to unravel. Then they ask for me to send money to get this automated time tracker. And they ask me to send it, you know, probably one of the most secure ways to send it. Through MoneyGram, of course. And I'm like, okay, this is, now I know you're a scam because nobody asks for money through Western Union or anything unless that's the only way they can get it. And I'm like, I'm just waiting to see which country comes up on this. And I'll show you this. This gets funnier. They give me it, and this is the information that they give me, which should be right about here. Rebecca Walker, City Cotonou, City Cotonou, State Cotonou, Country of Benin. I'm gonna have, for all of you that are not geography buffs, I will place a map up here of where that is. And it should be, again, right about here when I place it up. And they're like, got it? Sure, I've got it. Now, it's gonna take a little bit. They asked me to proceed with it, and they're like, and I waited about 15 minutes. I haven't even left the house, okay? I didn't even leave the house when I was doing any of this. So this is part of the fun of this. They asked me to have a clear picture of the receipt. So I look online to try and see if I can find receipts out there, see if there's a receipt template or something that I can find and make a new one so it looks legitimate. I found a website out there that had a blurry receipt. Sure, I'll take it. So I get it and I send this up and I post it and I just pasted it. They're like, that is not a clear copy. I'm like, it looks clear on my side. It's not, I don't care. They're like, they'll let me have the reference number. So I give them a 10-digit number. I'm just making it up at this point. They're like, that's incorrect? I mean, literally, they put question marks. Their grammar is starting to really unravel as this gets further and further down. They're like, it's always 8 digits. I'm like, oh, my mistake. It's this one. And I give them some other random number. They're like, really? No records found. This is where it gets funny. Okay, no problem. Do you know when I realized you were joking? It was when I did receive the deposit confirmation. First you said no deposit confirmation, and then you sent me a picture of a deposit confirmation elsewhere from the web. No problem. So you're starting by tomorrow morning, okay? Sure thing. They are so much into the con that they're not willing to let it go, despite the fact that they know that I'm playing with them now. So at this point, is it even worth responding to them? I don't know. All of you that are out there, this one's a new one, and like I said, This one, with all of the stuff that they put into it, they had a correct name. They had a very good biography on them. They had the legitimate website, which if you don't check it from a phone or from an outside source, you might not see the redirect on it. They have everything looks legitimate up until the point you're actually, quote, approved for it. Then everything falls apart within about 10 minutes. And this is something that a lot of you that are out there, especially if you're eager for a new job, this is something that you must be very careful about. All of you that are out there watching this, these are some ways to spot these scams. First off, no job, if they're asking about an online only job, that automatically should get you very concerned. Most companies do not do an online only job. The other one, if they're asking you to pay for anything, in a lot of cases that's illegal to start with, and that's usually the red letter sign that yes indeed, stop, this is a scam. If they're trying to send you a check, if it's a big enough company, they're going to have an account to send certain things to you. Third, a MoneyGram, as soon as you're asking for a telegram and it's going to a country in Africa where most people, if they're looking at old emails like the Prince of Nigeria, who by the way was just recently captured, I'm going to show a little blurb of that right about here. I think they said he was in Louisiana. So it was some white guy in Louisiana, I believe, that got caught as the Prince of Nigeria. As soon as you're trying to send money to any of those countries, that automatically should be a red flag to begin with, because why would you send it there? And you're saying that's one of your vendors? That's a trusted vendor that you have? I'm sure you have some trusted vendors in the country that you're working with. And again, if it's for an app, shouldn't you already have somebody in the tech side that can send it to you? I mean, look at the website that you sent. The website is professional, very professional. It has all of the stuff there. So if it was a real company, their IT department can send you an app like that. So look into what's going on. Don't give them anything big. Give them little tidbits to lead them along if you think it's a scam. And then once that you know it's a scam, you have a couple things. You can either ignore them, play with them a little bit like I did, or you can just call the police. And if you have enough information, you might be able to get this person caught before they strike somebody else. So these are certain things you can do. But that's all I've got today. This is Raven in How to Spot a Scam. I'll see you next time on How To. Are you a YouTuber like us here at TD Media? Ever thought of creating your own channel? Wondering how to get the best data and analytics for your channel? Then do what we do. We use TubeBuddy. Use the power of this YouTube certified partner to help you manage your YouTube channel. Go to www.tubebuddy.com/Kraken. That's www.tubebuddy.com/Kraken.